Hi creative dudes, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abiodun Bolaniwa. Here in this tutorial, I will be explaining the basic tools in Pixelab, how you can use all these tools in Pixelab, where they function and what they are used for, how you can use them to create a masterpiece, right? So that's that on that. To move very quickly, for Android users, download Pixelab on Play Store. But I would like to add this: there is no Pixelab on iPhone, iOS. So basically, iPhone users won't be able to use Pixelab on their phone. But then, if you want me to create a content on Canva design, you can just drop it in the comment section. Then probably in my next, my subsequent videos, I'll be doing videos on Canva design, and I'll be explaining the basic tools on Canva and other designs too. Thank you very much. Alright, moving quickly to why we are here in this tutorial. When you download Pixelab, this is what the interface will look like. Okay, this is what the interface will look like, and here displays scrolling up and down. These are the default templates that comes with Pixelab. Whenever you download it, these are default template that comes with it. You can decide to navigate each template. You can decide to use either of the templates by clicking on it, right? Just by clicking on it, you can select any template you want to use there. But per se, they might not be regarded as templates because they are just like just a sample, a background to show that you can do this on Pixelab. Okay, so now let's move very quickly. I will be using a white background for this tutorial so that you can see very clearly all the tools I will be using and I will be explaining in this tutorial. Alright, the first tool here that I would like us to be explaining is the text tool. The text tool, right? This is the text tool, the A here. Now the text tool is used to, as the name implies, to work on text, your words, your sentence, your word is okay. So when you need the text in your design, you just come to the text tool here and click on the plus icon, and you have your text on your work interface. Alright, before I move any further, let me explain the top icon here. This top icon here, they are called ribbon, just like the normal word processing software, word processing application software like the Microsoft Word, Excel and Co. Just like they have ribbon at the top, they have the home tab, the insert tab and the others. It's just the same thing here. The Pixelab is part of the graphics application software. Okay, so and it works on both on mobile phone and on laptop, right? So now here, this is the undo. This is the undo button. This is the magnification button, or you call it the zoom button. You'll be able to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, now this is the third icon here, is the grid icon, whereby you'll be able to see to put your text or your images in an alignment. Okay, right. The next thing there is the page icon. Okay, or you call it I call it a page icon. Anyway, a page icon. Okay, so that is that. The next tab there is the plus icon. In this plus icon, there is this plus icon just serves as a shortcut to other tools I'll be explaining as we move on in this tutorial. So we have the text tool there, the current date. When you need the current date, the date you are working, just click on it, and it will give you the date, the current date you are working on that design. The other thing there is the shape, the from gallery. That's to say that when you want to import an image or any other design element from your gallery, just click on it and you'll be redirected to your gallery and pick whatever you want to pick. And the last thing there is draw icon. The draw tab there is just for you to be able to draw, to use a freehand tool. You know what freehand tool mean? Let's just practicalize it so you can see what I'm talking about. This is, as you can see, just for you to draw. You want to sign, you want to do anything that require you, that require your free hand, and you can as well reduce the size. I've reduced the size to 1, and the font will be very tiny, just as you can see here. Right, you can reduce the smoothness, increase or reduce it, and you can play with all other features there. Okay, so that is that on that. The next thing there is the save icon. You can save as project, and the first thing I would like to input this. The first thing to do as a designer is, in fact, if you are using a PC, I mean a software, a Windows software, or probably a mobile phone for your design, it is very much important to know that you must save any project you are working on. Save it first before you proceed, because there are a lot of circumstances that can happen while designing. Probably your phone went off, there is no light, a lot of things like that which can interrupt your design and make you lose all the design process or what you've done so far. Okay, so that's that on that. There is save as image also. We want to save the design you've done as image, right? This works just like the import icon. Okay, the next thing there is share. If you want to share the design you've made, you probably want to share it as image or share it as JPEG or PNG. The JPEG is when you save image with a background, and PNG is when you save image without a background. Okay, so that's the difference between JPEG and PNG. And the next thing we have at the upper tab is the motivation, the code tab. Yeah, the code tab. As you can see, the code tab. So in this code tab, there is a lot of codes there. Probably when you are working on a design and you need a code, maybe a motivation code, a success code, a friendship, happiness, inspiration, positivity, episode codes, just click on them, and by clicking on it, one click, you'll be able to insert the code you of your choice. Okay, so that's that on that. And the last thing at the upper icon is, at the upper tab, is the 3 dots, which has other tools like use image from gallery, full screen, use image from camera. The full screen is if you are working on design and you want to see how it looks like, right, you can just click on the full screen and it will show you the actual design, what the design will look like on your phone. Okay, and you can go back to the normal Pixelab workspace by clicking on the icon at the top here. Okay, so that's that. The next thing there is the image size. Yeah, after you must have, or let's say before you save, when you're working on the design, the first thing is to put your design in a size, in a specific size, right? So the default size you have on Pixelab is 1280 by 1280 pixel, right? Because Pixelab works with pixel, just like we have other measurements, measurement calculation. We have inches, we have feet, centimeter, meter, but Pixelab works with pixel. Okay, so probably in my next videos I'll be explaining how you can calculate your design, how you can calculate the size of your design in inches and feet. Okay, that is for those that will be printing what they want to design, just like printer like me. Okay, so that's that on that. Now let's move very quickly to the first tool here, which is the text tool. Okay, so this is the text tool, right? This is the text tool. Just click on the plus icon here and we add the text to your workspace. Okay, so now when you add it, Then you can click on edit to edit the content inside. Let's say you want to add welcome to PixelLab, right? Welcome to PixelLab. Okay, so this is you've just edited the word in the text, right? The next thing you can do with this text is to delete it, right? Those are just the features that comes up when you click on the text. Okay, so you can click on this arrow here to undo, right? So there's difference between undo and redo. The other feature there in the text icon is the copy icon here, as you can see. So it will help you to duplicate the text. Okay, the next thing there is to font. Yeah, this means that, let's say for example you're working on a design project and a box cover up a particular text. Let's say for example this is the design you're working on, and this box has covered up some part of your design, which has covered up the text, the dates, and other things there. So what will you do? Just come up here, choose the text that you're working on that the box covered. Just click on it, and then you do what? Put your text tab and do what? Click on to font. When you click on to font, it automatically it brings it to the top of every other things there. And you click on to back, it takes you to the back of the page. Okay, so now let's click on to front. That's that on to back, to front and to back. Now the next thing there to know, under the text tab is the position. Yeah, the position. You can position your text in a different dimension. You can position it to the top, you can position it to the down part, and you can position it to the right and to the left. Okay, so that's that on that. The next thing there is the relative position. This relative position helps you to position, or let's say to move your text at a very high speed to a particular position, which is like to the 4 cardinal point. Yeah, let me explain that way. It helps you to move your text to the 4 cardinal point. If you want to move to the north, just click on the let me come back home. If you want to move your text to the top, just click on the top icon here. If you want to move it downward, click on the down. If you want to move to the side, click on here, and to the left, click here. Right now, the two other tab in the middle, we have they are centralized tab, okay, and we have the vertical centralized, and we have the horizontal centralized. When you click on this is the horizontal centralized, and you center it to in an horizontal way, okay. And the next thing there is when you center it in a vertical way, okay. So that's that on that. The next thing there to know is the size. You can increase the size of the text you're working on, and you can reduce it, okay. And also, without coming here, you can easily come here and click on the edge here by increasing and reducing it. So that's that on that. The next thing there is padding. Yeah, the padding. The padding is just like when you are working on the design and there's space. Right, as you can see, there's a space in front of this welcome. It can actually come back. Yeah, let's say you're working on a long text, and some of the text has entered, like it has entered into like it has gone into extinct. Let me just put it that way, so you can't see it. So all you just have to do is come to the padding and increase it, then the text will come out. Okay, so that's the work of the padding. So the next thing there is color. You can give your text color, different colors. You can give it yellow, black, white, whatever color it pleases you. Right, now the next thing there is the texture. Yeah, this texture is just like you inputting a design element, or let's say we are inputting a design element in another design element. Okay, now this is the text. Let me make use of a very bold font so we can see very clearly the use of the texture. Now let me use a bold font. Okay, let me use this. Right, so this is the font, right? Then you want the texture icon here on Pixelab works just like a power clip on Corridor. If you are familiar with Corridor, it works just like a power clipping on Corridor. Now this is the work. Just click on the texture, then you click on the gallery icon here. Click on it and it will take you to a gallery. So what you just have to do is click on the image or the icon you want to import. Let's say you want to import this. So you click. As you can see, the image you import inside the text as reflected inside it. Okay, now you can click on this scale by scaling it upward, by increasing the size of the image inside it, or by decreasing the size. And you can make use of you can maintain the actual size of the image by toggling up by enabling this icon here, as you can see. Okay, now so the next thing there is opacity. Opacity is just is a transparency. Okay, you can use an opacity to increase the transparency of the text or reduce it. Okay, you can increase it or reduce it. So that's the work of opacity. The next thing there is rotate. You can rotate the text in a clockwise direction or an anti-clockwise direction. Right. The next thing there is the mask tool. The mask tool helps you to cut a specific part of your text. Right. It helps you to cut out a specific part of your text. Probably if you want to reshape a text, yeah, that's the work of the mask. It works just like the pen tool in Corridor and Photoshop and some other graphic application software. Okay, so it's used just like a shape tool where you used to reshape your text or your images. Okay, so that's that on that. The next tool there is I think I omitted some. Okay. The next tool there is the font. Yeah. The font helps you to change the typeface by choosing the font. You can choose another font. You can choose a tiny font. You can choose a bold font. You can choose any font. You know, there is serif font, there is sans serif font, a lot of fonts like that. So it helps you to choose other fonts you want aside from the one that is there already. So the next thing there is style. Okay, so the style helps you to work on the formatting. You know, just like in a word processing, in a Microsoft Word per se, there is a formatting of text whereby you can add some editing to your text, like bold, control B, like italic, like underlining, and some other formatting like that. Okay, so it's just like they are just the same thing. Okay, let me change the font to a tiny font so we can see the function of the style. So this is a tiny font. Okay, this is a tiny font. Now by clicking on the style, you can bold the font. As you can see, it is bold already. You can click on the B and you will bold the text. You can click on I, you will add the text to put the text to italic, and the next thing there is U underline, as you can see. And if you want to cancel out the formatting you've added to the text, just click on the last icon there, and every formatting you've added to the text will be cleared. Okay, so that's that on that. The next thing there is curve. You can curve your text, right? Let me make use of shorter text so we can see it very well. Make use of shorter text. Subscribe. Please, if you are watching this video at this moment, this tutorial at this moment, and you are finding it very detailed and very educative, please make sure to like, comment, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Alright, so we are talking about the curve, right? So when you click on the curve, it gives you the chance of curving the text, right? As you can see, by bending the text to the right or to the left. Okay, so that's the work of the curve. Now you can add a background to the text alone. If you click on it, you can add a blue background, you can add a yellow background, any background to it. So that's the work. And you can increase the padding. I've explained what the padding means in the previous earlier, right? So you can increase the padding in a vertical direction, and you can increase it in the horizontal direction. You can just play with the tools here and we get familiar with it. So because of the, I don't want this tutorial to be too much long, okay? Right, the next thing there is alignment. There are basically three types of alignments in graphics. We have the left alignment, the right alignment, and we have the center alignment. And these are the three here. Now let me make use of this as an example. Alright, so you can put this image this text in its left alignment or right alignment. As you can see, they all come back to the right, and you can make use of the center alignment. You might not see very well. Let me make use of this, the text here. Okay, this particular text. So let's say this particular text is in center alignment. It's in center alignment. You can put it in left alignment. As you can see, they all moved to the left hand side, and there is right alignment. So that's that and that. And there is justify. If you want to add a full justify to it, so this is the work of justify, as you can see there. So that's that on that. The next thing here is spacing. Yes, the spacing helps you to, let me make use of it here. This is the spacing. It helps you to add a space on in between each text of the word. As you can see, it add a space. You can add a space to it or reduce the space in between each text of the word. Okay, now there is line spacing. The line spacing is just like a vertical format of the spacing, of the earlier spacing we talked about, right? So let me mix use of it here. And this is the line spacing. You can increase the space in between the words in a vertical format. Okay, so that's that about the line spacing. And then there is stroke. Yeah, there is stroke. The stroke is the other name you can call the stroke is an outline. You can either call it an outline or you call it a stroke. This is used to add another color to the edge of your word. Okay, so let me make use of bold font so we can see it very well. Let me make use of bold font. Alright, this is a bold font. Now let's add a stroke to it. As you can see, you see the black outline, the black taping that's showing at the edge of the, as you can see. Let me zoom it. Can you see it? Now let me off it. When you toggle it on, you've added the stroke to it, and of course you can change the color of the stroke to red, to pink or whatever color it is, to black, to yellow, as it is. And of course you can increase the stroke also. You can increase it and you can decrease it. So that's the work of of the stroke. Alright, so the next thing there is shadow. You can add a shadow to your text. As you can see, that is shadow. You can reduce the opacity, you can increase it, you can increase the blur, you can blur it off, you can increase the blurriness, and you can reduce it. Then those are the tools there. Just play with it. You can increase it, offset it, you can shift it to the right or shift it to the top or downward. Okay, and you can increase the glow. You can make it glow. Okay, so that's that on the shadow. And then there is inner shadow. There's inner shadow. You want to add an inner shadow to, let's for example, on this particular text, applying it. Let me make use of let me change the color to, let's say, let me change the color to, let's say, black. Yeah. Then you want to add an inner shadow to it. Let's add an inner shadow of white. As you can see the blurriness. So it's just like when you are adding a shadow to it inwardly. So the shadow is not showing outside, it's having effect inwardly. That's the work of the inner shadow. So the next thing there is emboss. So this emboss helps you to add a 3D effect on your text. It helps you to add a 3D effect on your text, right? So you can increase the intensify, ambient light, the specular hardness, as you can see, a lot of things you can do here. Just play with the tools here and you get familiar with it. The next thing there is perspective. Yeah, the work of perspective is for you to reshape the text or to readjust. Right, let me say to reshape the text in your own perspective, in your own view, right? So let's say you are viewing this text on a ground surface, probably sleeping. So you can just play with the tool and you will get it. Can you see what the what's it called? Sorry, the perspective icon works for. So that's that on that. The next thing there is the 3D rotate. You can rotate it upward or downward as it is, right? So that's the work of the 3D rotate. And then we have the 3D text. You can add the 3D also here, but this 3D is different from the emboss. In what sense? In the sense that it helps you to add and extrude. It helps you extrude the part of the text. As you can see, this is slightly different to the effect of the emboss, right? And of course, you can change the excluded part to a gradient, to a color. Yeah, to a gradient. A gradient is just a combination of two or more colors. That is what a gradient is. The combination of two or more colors. I forgot to explain it in highlighting color earlier. So that's the work of the gradient and the work of the 3D text. The next thing here is 3D shadow. You can add the 3D shadow here, right? So this is the work of the 3D shadow. You can increase the blurry or reduce it to expand, whatever. So and the next thing there is reflection. You can add a reflection. As you can see, this is beautiful. So this is the work of a reflection. Yeah, that's that on the text formatting. Now the next thing there is the shape tool. This is the shape tool beside the text tool. The shape tool helps you to add different in there, which include stickers. Yeah, in these stickers you can add a lot of stickers there just by clicking on it. There is a basketball sticker. There is what's it called? The splash. There is this message icon. There is this. There is Bob. There is cake. There is crown. There is cake. There is flower. There is blah 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 blah. Whatever it is. So just pick there and mix of it. Then we have the import. Yeah, this is if you want to make use of an image, or let's say you've downloaded your design resources already, which include a lot of things, right? Your model, your this, your that you want to use in your design. So you just come to this import, and then to take it to your gallery, where you can pick the image you want to make use of, right? So let's say this is the image I want to use. So just by clicking on it, it will help you to import it inside the PixelLab. Okay, so this is the image. Then you can now adjust and use it for whatever you want to use it for. Okay, so now on each element or each image you import inside PixelLab, there is always a formatting on them. Right? So let's make use of this image for an example. You can crop it. That's the work of the crop there. You can copy it, right? So that's that. You can take it to front or take it to. I've explained that earlier. Take it to front, take it to back, take it to front. Okay. You can add a position to it, right? I've explained that. You can add a relative position to it, right? I've explained that too. You can add a relative size. So that's the work of the size. You can add a color, right? A gradient color or whatever color you want to choose. Then you can add a texture. I've explained the work of a texture. You can add an opacity to it. You can add a color filter by increasing. Let me make use of another image so you can understand the work of this color filter. So let's import an image. Let's import another image, a colored image. Yeah, let's make use of this. Let's say I want to work on a design that require me to use a reddish background, right? So now all I just, and this I love this background and I want to make use of this background, but it is not red, or it is, or let's say pink. It's not red, it's not pink, it is just blue. So instead of you getting confused or trying to find another background, you can just come to this color filters and increase the hue, okay, by adjusting the saturation, okay, as you can see. So that's the word of the color filters. Then the next thing there is stroke. I've explained what stroke means. The eraser, yeah, there's eraser too. There's an eraser too, so you can erase part of your image. As you can see, I've erased part, so that's the work of the eraser too. There is mask too. I've explained that earlier. There is erase color, yeah. So erase color is just like you are trying to erase a particular color inside the image. Let's say for example you turn it on and you pick your pick tool there, right? So just select the icon you want to erase. If you pick white, you are saying you want to erase the white, okay? And if you pick the black, so you are saying you want to erase the black part. So that's the work. You can see it has erased the white part here. You can see this part here. So that's the work of the erase color. There's rotate, there's 3D rotate, there's 3D shape, and the other two, just like I've explained in the text formatting. Now the next thing there is adding a background page, a background tab, whereby you want to add a background to your design. So here you can decide to add a color to your background. You will notice before the background was white and then it has changed to black, to blue rather. As you can see, you can add a background, and of course you can make use of gradient. As you can see. So now let's play with the gradients. Let's say you want to make use of blue gradient, right? So just click on the part you want to edit, click on the plus icon. Sorry, just say this is part you want to edit. Just click on this color icon here, then pick the color you want to use, press OK, choose here to pick the color you want to use. and press OK. As you can see, this is sorry. So this is the effect of the gradient. As you can see here, this is the effect of the gradient. Okay, so that's that on that. And the next thing there is transparent. You can add it, you can make the background transparent, right? You can transparent the background. And the next thing there is image size. So I said it from the beginning that when you want to work on a design project, the first thing to do is to put your work in a size, and then make sure you save it. So that's the first rule, never forget. Now the next thing there is the image. If you want to make sort of a background with image instead of adding color, so you can just pick the one there, or probably you can import it from your gallery, right? You can import it from your gallery, import background from your gallery. But the disadvantage of you adding picture from your gallery as a background is that you won't be able to edit it again, right? You won't be able to edit it unless you change it. So that's the effect there. So that is that on the tools on Pixelab. Yeah, I think we've covered the old tool here. I think we've covered it. So that is so as you can see. So yeah, this is so I used the line spacing. So this is that. They're very simple. It's just that you need to practice, right? You need to practice. It's very, very much important. So that is that on that for this tutorial. Right, in the next tutorial I'll be dropping very soon. I'll be making use of all the tools I've explained. In my next tutorial I'll be explaining the tools, and we'll be using it to create a real life flyer design, so we can know how they are used. And of course, by doing that, we'll be getting very much familiar to it. So thank you very much for waiting to the end. And if you want to make sure you see my next video, please make sure to subscribe, to like my video, and drop your comments if you find it valuable. Thank you very much once again. My name is Abiodun Molanwa.